There's a knock at the door. God knows who it might be. The world is in the beginning stages of falling apart. People migrate from one place to another in order to escape the scorching heat of the sun and the ever-growing threat of visitors. Visitors. They look like people. They talk like people. But they aren't. No one knows where they came from or why they're here. All they know is the violence they've left in their wake. With a sigh, we decide to open the door. There's a man outside, androgynous in appearance, covered head to toe in thick, heavy clothes, in contrast to the heat outside caused by the blistering sunlight during the day. His somber and weary face looks into the people uncertainly. "Hello," his voice trembles. "The heat doesn't bother me. I'm just looking for a quiet place to rest. Might I find some peace in your home?" His voice is quiet, almost a whimper, reserved. "How long have you been looking?" we ask. He pauses. "I've never once found peace, so a long time." "The heat doesn't bother you?" "I'm always cold," he says, shivering. "Others burn in the sun. I wrap myself in layers and still feel on the verge of freezing. I'm afraid to take any layers off. What if it just gets worse, and there's no death to ease the suffering?" With this, we have a choice. We can let him in, into the warmth of our home, or abandon him, leave him for the sun to claim. We decide to let him in. "Thank you. Ceiling is a bit low, but it's fine." And with that, he enters. As with the ballerina in my last video, the coat guy is also a guaranteed visitor. We'll be using FEMA notices to strategize who we send off in order to keep him from being taken. We will also have to be careful of letting visitors into our home, as if we have 2 or more visitors, they will start attacking guests. No visitors are passive. It doesn't matter the combination. As long as there are 2 visitors, there will always be a chance of an attack during the night. The next day comes. The sun beats down on our house with rays that once brought life. Now, going out into its embrace is almost certain death. The man in the coat sits silently in our living room, his head in his hands, held low to the ground as he sits on the couch. We speak to him. "If only there was a little warmth," he mutters. We ask him if he's keeping his jacket on. "Yes, there's one thought that frightens me. What if I take it off? I can't get warm, even in the heat. If I remove the jacket, will I die from the cold? Or worse, remain alive and feel even colder?" Nothing seems to better his condition, a never-ending feeling of deep, bitter cold. Even in the sun it never wavers. The surface of his skin burns, and yet the feeling of cold never subsides. He's scared, frozen to his very core. "Aren't you sweating under it?" we ask. "No, the body sweats to cool itself, but I don't think I can get any colder." We decide to check his teeth. According to the TV, a visitor will have perfect, straight, white teeth. He opens his mouth with his fingers, pulling his mouth agape. Perfect, white teeth, gums inflamed and raw. I bite my lips until they bleed sometimes, just to feel the warmth of my own blood, he says sheepishly. A reminder that I'm still alive. We pull our weapon on him. Perhaps soon I won't need to remember. He pauses. He doesn't seem to be afraid. He's cold, empty, waiting for the world to end and end his pain, his bitter and frigid suffering. Nothing will quell this feeling rooted deep within his body, and he seems to accept it solemnly. We put down our weapon. Thank you for trusting me. I hope I can be of some use to you. Something's gnawing at me, but I can't share what yet. He ends the conversation. The next day we ask, any idea what to do about your temperature? I don't believe I can change this. A hot bath only burns me. I don't feel any warmer. You know, I thought of a metaphor. Picture deep space, vast and frozen. Galaxies are born, stars collapse, and I just observe. I'll never feel the heat of the sun or the warmth of an embrace. It seems neither space nor society need me. He ends the conversation. He feels left out, or rather that there's no need for him. Purposeless and invisible to everyone around him. The warmth he so desperately wants, the warmth that he needs, is out of reach. Forced to observe, unable to change his circumstance, cursed to suffer, alone, in this world. Warmth will never touch his skin. Others can experience the world around them, but he can't. He'll never be able to. Anytime he gets close, there's no warmth. Only a scorching, hostile heat. No median, only one extreme or the other. Stuck in a galaxy of supernovas and life, removed from it all, completely and utterly alone. We ask to check his hands. Nails? Sure, I'll show you. I tore them all off. Still, you can take a look. His blue, corpse-like hands crawl into view. Most of his nails are ripped off, blood still visibly caked onto his raw nail beds. It's on purpose. He bites his lips until they bleed. He tears his fingernails off one by one, just to feel something other than the cold. Anything at all. Do you think my nails match what they say about visitors? We once again pull our weapon on him. You can't really check my hands when they're like this. Forgive me. Please don't shoot. There's something I'd like to tell you, but... He's begging, this time. Unlike last time, he wants you to spare him. Could it be because of something that he wants to show us? Hearing his pleas, we lower our weapon. You know, I'm tired of living like this, but you chose not to kill me. Meanwhile, somewhere else, someone else, was killed in their own home. Ever think about why that is? The conversation ends. He seems conflicted. Will death release him from this pain, or will it only be another act carried out for the sake of this planet's insanity? We spare him, with every reason to be suspicious, and yet, somewhere else, someone else is slaughtered in cold blood in their own home. Why should he live? Countless innocent people have fallen victim, but he still lives. Why? Night falls, and with cruel indifference the sun raises its eyes upon the scorched land once again. We greet the man in the coat. You said that you had something to reveal when we met. What was it? We ask. He ponders for a moment. I'm not sure I want to talk about it right now. Something has been on my mind for a long time. It might be why I feel so cold. He pauses. I loathe to bring it up, but it might just consume me if I don't. I'll tell you tomorrow. I think I'll be ready then. We ask to check his eyes. Now, eyes are a window to hell, but not to the soul. My soul burned out long ago. Maybe that's why I'm so cold. We lean in as he opens his eyelid. His iris is gray. It stretches unnaturally downward, as if it's being pulled down by some unseen force. There's no life in these eyes, only an empty, cold void. Narrow pupils, probably because the cold has tightened my skin. Shame the sun still burns me like everyone else. At least my flesh was warm as it charred. Was? He doesn't appear burnt. If anything, he looks as if he's a corpse frozen long ago. What an odd thing to say. We pull our weapon on him once again. Is that the killer in you talking? My eyes aren't red. Don't let me stop you. Waiting is worse than death. He again switches from being afraid to indifferent. He can't make this decision himself. Instead, he waits for what's next. Why take action when the outcome will never change? We lower our weapon. Life left my eyes long ago. All that's left is endless loneliness. I can't grow close to anyone. All it brings is pain and suffering. The conversation ends. He desperately wants connection, but is unable to forge any bonds, and when he does, it only leads to pain. The wish to have that closeness is nothing but a fairy tale to him, something he's long given up on due to his circumstances, his eternal curse. We continue on to the next day. We take his photograph with the Aura camera, a camera with a specially designed lens that allows us to peer into a person's aura. According to the TV, a visitor's aura will be distorted and riddled with black spots. What does a photograph have to prove? He questions. Does it not seem strange to you? But it's not up to me, is it? We take the freshly developed film from the camera and examine it. It's dark and cold. His lower half empty. Darkness stains the photo. Could it be a malfunction of the camera? Or could it be something else? Did you see something? He asks quickly. Show me. We pull our weapon on him once more to see what he has to say. Can I keep the photo? No one's ever taken one of me before. It feels nice. We put down our weapon and hand him the photo. Tell me how many more signs it will take for them to figure out what needs to be done. Why does anyone need to die? Or maybe it was never necessary to begin with. Even in a tense situation with us having just pulled a weapon on him, he still remarks that having his photo taken feels nice. Even when he's faced with such a situation, he still attaches himself to that one small act. Despite the violence he's witnessed, all he yearns for is any kind of warmth. Warmth he's never felt, physically and emotionally. We continue the conversation. So what are you hiding? Yes, I wanted to share a secret. I think I'm ready, but it usually ends badly. But maybe not this time. Under these clothes is, I believe, the reason for my cold and loneliness both. Look. It only lasts a moment. He lifts his coat quickly, face towards the ceiling. The sun beats down on our home. The heat is overwhelming even inside shelter, but in this one moment, in this one room, in this small, isolated house, everything becomes freezing cold. Under his ribcage lies the source. Gaping void stares back at us. An infinite nothingness lies embedded deep within this man's body. He can't get close. If he does, he'll swallow you whole. If there's guests in the room, they all immediately die. We stand, unaffected by the void that stares back at us. He rips down his shirt as quickly as it came and went. Not again, he whimpers. What did you do? I didn't mean to. I thought it would be different here. It never is. I didn't want it this. I swear I didn't. We have two choices. We can spare his life and tell him he must leave, or we can kill him right here, right now. We decide to put an end to his suffering. Maybe things could have been different. Maybe in a different world, in another time. There's no use in thinking about it now. The man in the coat is no more. And with that, his story concludes. If instead we decide to force him to leave, he asks us if we can wait until nightfall, and that Ebola would be kinder as he can still feel the pain of burning alive in the sun. In the current release of the game, this choice is glitched, as if we let him stay until nightfall, he stays indefinitely. We can still test him, but he offers no new dialogue. I think the reason why the protagonist walks away unharmed from this when he removes his shirt while everyone else perishes is because we're the only ones he felt close enough to accept into his life. He barely knew us, but we took a chance on him and trusted him, and in return he trusted us, which let us survive looking into the void of his soul. He isn't quick to trust, but acts such as taking his picture and letting him into our home feeds his desperation for connection. Back during one of our conversations with him, he says, "Shame the sun still burns me like everyone else. At least my flesh was warm as it charred." He says this in past tense, as if he had already been burned and immolated by the sun. This gives us more evidence to the theory that visitors are humans that were killed by the sun, such as with the cashier girl. It could also be a translation error, but I think this was deliberate. He was most likely a normal human once, looking for shelter, but due to his difficulty with being social, he was unable to find shelter and burned alive under the sun. And then when he was revived as a visitor, the hole in his stomach formed. We can infer from our conversations that he has shown others before, and with the same way every time. During the night, sometimes we can hear audio associated with the character's play when we stand next to the door. His audio goes as follows. He shivers and moans in the same way someone would during a death rattle. It's truly chilling. According to the wiki, his temperature is unrelated to him being a visitor, as hinted by the developers, although I can't find any reference to this in-game. His secret he carries in the form of a black hole could also be a metaphor for his fear of not being able to be accepted by society due to his past trauma and mental illness. He doesn't want to hurt anyone, and yet he can't stop himself from doing so. His story is one of depression and existential loneliness. The black hole in his stomach and the never-ending cold he experiences are physical representations of his struggles. His character is tragic. No matter how much he longs for connection, his social and physical inability to get close to anyone hinders him from filling the void in his soul. It's a void that can never be filled. He switches from indifference to begging for his life frequently. This could be because he doesn't know how to properly assess his emotions and situation. It's a struggle that sadly, many people deal with every day all over the world. It's Its representation in the game is raw and unfiltered. It truly shows how conditions like depression and personality disorders can really feel for those afflicted. Not only does the void affect those around him, but it also takes a toll on his own body, as we can see from his iris. He copes with his dread in his own unhealthy way, tearing off his nails and biting his lips until he bleeds. Clear depiction of self-harm. I find his story to be one of the most tragic and relatable throughout the world of No, I'm Not a Human. All he wishes for is someone to accept him as he is. And when he finally feels comfortable opening up, it hurts everyone around him. This is Retro Chow, and thank you for watching. If you're interested in more videos like this, I have a new video coming out every Saturday. I plan on making at least one video for every character with a unique interaction in the game, so stay on the lookout for that. I'm also in the works on an ending explained video to tie in with my last video about the ballerina. So if you guys have any suggestions for characters, leave them in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.